afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. Where you at? This is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube, folks. Oh, I can't believe it. We just started 2026. We're in the end of the third month. As you know, next week is a big event, especially for a fan like myself. It's the Triple O Dynasty. It's going to be the third year of the show. It's the biggest show starting off the season for divisions of women's bodybuilding, figure. We just finished up wrap up of the Honor UK. Where congratulations to Michelle Messiah. Just barely a month after winning the Honor Classic in here in the States, now she turned around and wins the UK Classic in her own backyard. So that's going to be big for her. Also, as I said again, the Triple O Dynasty is going to come up next weekend. I am one of the sponsors for the jacket. Shout out to my friends and my family. My man David, Female Body Channel, he's also sponsoring the show. It's also my girl Eunice. As you know, Eunice runs Bad Rap. And if you follow the Bad Rap moniker, big and defined, ripped and pumped. I like the rip part. So, folks, anyway, we have here a lovely lady, and she's from the Isle Coast, from Ireland. You know how I am. I am an international player from the Himalayas. So we welcome her and we thank you for that. We have here Tara Mooney, and she competes in the PCA, and also she's a powerlifter, and she's a mom of two little girls. So welcome, ma'am, and thank you for your time.
Hi, it's so good to be here.
Thank you. So, ma'am, I want to ask you this question. What got you started in sports? I call it muscle and masculinity. Please share.
I kind of fell upon it by an accident. So I started quite late. I think I was like 30 when I started the gym. So it was after I had my kids. And I was like, oh, I want to like tone up my body. I'm after having like two kids. And I did mostly cardio. And then I started seeing a guy that did weightlifting. And I kind of fell into it that way. So it was completely by an accident. It wasn't like, oh, I want to get like muscly or I want to get strong. It was like, oh, I'll give this a try. So completely by an accident. And
what kind of accident? You was like, oh, I fell in the gym.
I think straight away I was kind of like, oh, I'm quite strong. Like I think the first time I deadlifted, I definitely hit 100 kilos and I probably weighed about 50 kilos. So yeah, I was pretty strong straight away. And then I kind of put myself into a competition again for the crack, like just for a bit of fun. And I did quite well. And then obviously I enjoyed it as well. But yeah, I kind of like fell into it and started competing nearly straight away. And then bodybuilding that's only been the last 4 years, whereas I've been powerlifting, I think 9 years now.
Yeah.
So bodybuilding was the same. I wanted to just see what it was like.
With bodybuilding, it's a very extreme sport. It's different compared to other sports where it gets a lot more attention. Like sports like football, basketball, soccer, it's just something different. And then with powerlifting, it's been around for a long time. I know quite a few ladies who were bodybuilders who started out powerlifting. Some ladies who still compete in powerlifting. And like you said, your weight, heaviest weight for the first time was 100 kilos. So for us Americans, so we know that we have different metric systems.
It's like over 200 pounds, I think.
Yeah, so that's
yeah.
So and that's a lot for a little woman, barely over 100 pounds.
Yeah. I think because I had horses when I was younger, and I did horse riding. I mean, that's like what 500 kilos, 600 kilos that you're like lugging around and controlling. So there's a lot of horsey girls that I know that went into powerlifting or went into bodybuilding, and they were strong because it's manual work as well, looking after horses. So I think that might have contributed to me finding my feet with weightlifting so early.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, horses, that's a lot. That's a powerful animal.
Yeah.
I knew a lady you used to work with. She used to love riding horses. Also, it's a great way to get you shape. It works in your quads, your glutes. You also when you're riding, you keep your head up, so you really controls your upper body.
Your core as well. Your core is because I teach horse riding now, so like your core would be like major for it as well. So like it's same with any sport. Like it's going to transfer in some capacity over to like another sport.
Mm-hmm. So you talk about your little girls. How old are your babies?
So it's a boy and a girl, but I have a stepdaughter as well. So
Oh,
my son is 14 going on 15, so teenager. And my daughter was 12 yesterday, so happy birthday to Georgia. And then my
oh,
stepdaughter is 11. There's only 3 months between the girls, and they're like best friends. Like
uh,
yeah, like they're super, super close. So they're quite close in age as well. So yeah, it's a
that's
nice
good.
age to have them back 'cause they're like a little bit independent. So I have a little bit of my freedom back.
Yeah, I remember my mother. She had my oldest sister. She was 16. My parents were together for nearly 55 years. Even though my dad was living in another state, and we were still down here in North Carolina. And there's like my oldest sister. She's at least over 15 years older than me. And my I have a younger brother. He's like 3 years younger than me. And there's like another set of brothers and sisters between us. And it's good to have that bond, especially with children. With children, relationships are very important when it comes to mother, father, brothers and sisters.
Mhm.
And then you have a little girl that's your age. You're close. And then you get your teenage boy. You got to remember, hey, you got beat him down, beat him down. Hey, don't let him kind of run you over. But
I'm really lucky with him. He's so good. Like for a teenage boy, like he comes home, does his homework straight away. He's no trouble. It's the girls I'm gonna have to watch out for.
yeah, you gotta watch it. You know what? There's
Yeah.
an old saying from a classic movie. A boy's best friend is his mother. So
Oh yeah, yeah, we're
yeah,
close. And you know what? I'm lucky. We're a very close family, and I've come from a very close family. So yeah, it's all good.
yeah. I remember when we grew up together. Me and my brothers and sisters. They raising me and my mom. She had to work and do what she had to do. It was good to have that closeness and bond with family, especially with like a sport like bodybuilding and powerlifting, because it's very extreme.
Hmm.
Because I talk to ladies who have been in relationships, and because especially when it comes down to a woman changing aspects of her body, her physique, putting on muscle, where it's considered very more a masculine thing than it is a feminine
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think there's some guys that just I think because your body does change. Like I look completely different now than I did 3 years ago, like never mind 5 years ago. So it definitely takes a certain type of partner to be able to be with you when your body is changing and still be attracted to you and still love you. And then there's the whole side of the prep as well. I mean, you're a different person when you're on prep. You're like a robot. Like you're emotionless. You're literally, it's like, it's the only thing you can do. You can't emotionally give as much into the relationship. So I do think it's important to have a partner that can understand that. Like I'm lucky my partner has done bodybuilding, so he knows exactly what it feels like. But I don't know if I had a partner that didn't do it, if they can understand, because when he was doing it, I hadn't have done bodybuilding before, and I was like, "Yeah, he's still into me. Like he's looking really good. He's got abs now. Are all the girls checking him out in the gym?" Because he was like a little bit standoffish with me, and I'm like, you know, why is this happening? But like, obviously, your mindset is different, and you kind of like a robot. You're kind of emotionless. It's like when they hug you, you're like, "Yes, I love you." They're there. So the fact that he knows that and that he understands that, it's major. Like it's definitely, we haven't had any issues, thank God, like, with our relationship during prep. And I think it's because he's been there and he understands like how you feel.
Yeah, prep can be emotional time because your body's going through something. But just bodybuilding in general can be physically, mentally,
Mhm.
emotionally, spiritually, and financially draining on any person.
Yeah.
Especially when you're changing your lifestyle, especially going into prep where you have to be consistent, disciplined, determined when it comes to your diet. Because that's one thing. A part about it is that
Mhm.
bodybuilding's not just built in the gym; it's built in the kitchen. I know you got two little girls and a teenage boy. They ain't gonna eat what you're gonna eat. Yeah,
No, definitely
they
not.
they they like some little cakes and little chips and stuff like that. Little things
You're making
because I
like
know how it
five
is. Yeah,
different dinners.
yeah, yeah. It's the thing is, but it's good again. You have that support. So, what got you started in bodybuilding?
So I was doing powerlifting. I was doing powerlifting competitions, and I was prepping for. I actually did when COVID happened. There was a show. I think you have one similar in America. It's like the SAS, the Special Forces. Do you have that show in America? It's where they get
Oh,
like a group of civilians and they put them through like Hell Week, and it's to see if any of them can survive. So it would be like what your secret forces would do. So there was a show like this in Ireland, and they reached out to my partner and asked him if he'd be interested in doing it. So he was doing a bodybuilding competition at the time. So he was like, hell no, I'm not doing this. So I'm a Sagittarius. I'm very adventurous. I say yes to everything. I was like, oh my God, give them my number. I would totally do it. And it was during COVID. Like there was nothing going on. Like all competitions had stopped. So I did that. It was awful. It was terrible. I mean, it was running, backpack and all this sort of stuff. I got out on the first day. I got hypothermia. We were thrown out of a speedboat while it was like in the sea. And I remember there was like hailstones on us on the speedboat. So the speedboat was going. We had to like jump out and swim onto shore to the base. So yeah, I know, crazy. So I did it and I got hypothermia. And then I was like, oh, feck this. So I was out of it anyways. And I was like, I'm going back to powerlifting. So I was doing a powerlifting competition and I had just lost the spark for it. I was kind of like, nah, with my training, everything was meh. And then I was like, okay, maybe coming up to the competition, I'll get that little kick. I'll, get that drive and excitement. And it was the same thing. So I was like, okay, I need to do something different. I love training. I love going to the gym. I love competitions. But I just felt like I hadn't that same heart in it with the powerlifting. So as I said, my partner was doing a bodybuilding competition. So I was watching him doing it, seeing all these amazing girls on stage. And I was like, oh my God, I want to try this. So I contacted my coach who would have, helped me meet weight caps for powerlifting. He's a pro bodybuilder. His name is Shane Cullen. He's like very, very well known in Ireland. So I've known him a long time. So I was like, I want to do a bodybuilding competition. And he was like, yes, finally. So we took 2 years, completely dropped powerlifting altogether. We thought I was going to go into wellness because my lower body was quite developed from powerlifting. So we did like upper body once a week. It was like 3 days of legs. And then I went to do the PCA competition. And I literally was just like, I just want to experience this. I just want to do this. But when we started cutting, he was like, your back is massive. You cannot be wellness. You're going to have to go figure. So when I was like starting prep, I was like, okay, my category has changed. And I went and I did PCA. I did all right. Like it was athletic figure. I came third. It wasn't like a huge competition, but I was quite happy. I just wanted to experience it. And then that was it. I was like, oh my God, I absolutely love this. So then I started doing bodybuilding. And then in my off season, I was doing powerlifting because the drive to do powerlifting had returned after I dropped it for 2 years. So I'm a power builder.
You're calling yourself a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, I think everybody finds something in the sport that gives them a passion. Be it powerlifting, be it bodybuilding, and especially the training, your regiment. I know your coach was excited because now I got her.
He was like, finally, yes, because he was doing all my nutrition for powerlifting. And then when I was like, I want to do bodybuilding, he was just like, woohoo, like, let's go. And he's awesome. Like, he's so good. He's so invested in me. Like, like when you're in prep, there's days where you're just like, I look like crap, or, you've got days that you doubt yourself. That's completely normal. Well, he is just such a hype man, he'll just like set me straight, and he's awesome. He's really, really good.
It's kind of like like a classic movie. He's kind of like your Mick to your Rocky, like that scene in Rocky 5 when he goes in the gym, he sees that ghost of Mick and his trainer says, when you ever get hurt, you hear a shut on your AJ shoulder, get up, you son of a bitch. Make you love shine. Because
things like that.
Yeah, that's good to have that. To have both your husband, your kids in your corner, and your coach. What about your other family members? What they think about it? Your mom and your dad?
Oh, they don't like me doing this at all. I think because I had like a back injury when I was younger, my mom is like super protective. So, the powerlifting competitions would be live streamed on YouTube. And she's like, I'm not watching that. Like, she was such a mom. I'm not watching that. I don't want you to get to hurt yourself. Like, that's your limit. That's your limit. Don't lift anymore. Don't lift anymore. And I'm like, no, I need to get stronger. So it comes from a place of love. Like, it's not that, they're turning a blind eye to it. It's like, please don't hurt yourself. Or, when I'm on prep and my face gets skinny, she's like, why are you doing this to yourself? So it's from a place of love, but like obviously they're happy when I do well and stuff like that. They just don't want to see the hardship in it.
Yeah, that's the thing about, because this is such a, again, it goes back to the streaming of the sport. And you've seen somebody, especially your child, if you're a parent. I don't have had kids myself, but I have nieces and nephews. And I don't want them to see go through something traumatic. And but this
Of
is for
course,
you,
yeah.
your passion, and it's good that you understand. I've had talked to ladies where their mom would say, their mother would say, like, "P, I don't want you to get so manly because I want you to find a man. You already got a boyfriend or something, And the dad might say, I already got a boy. I don't need another boy. I don't want to be, it's just, again, this is about you, not so much about
Yeah.
them. So, folks, while we get Tara here, we're going to do here, we're going to jump into social media for a bit. If you want to check her out, the links in the live in the description of this live stream. Reach out in genuine interest, support her, give her a shout out. This helps, especially and if you also someone interested in sponsor somebody like her, let her know. But guys, I know you guys out there. I know I have to admit my crimes in front of you, Tara. I am a muscle person. No, I find y'all ladies intoxicating. It's just something that really excites me. But gentlemen, I will tell you this up front. Be respectful. She has a man, she got kids. Reach out. Don't be that weird guy. I want to hear that. Come on, act right. So we're gonna jump
No
into social
weird
media.
stuff.
No weird stuff. No, I know he guys say every guy say I don't like women with muscles, but then there be some guys say I saw your last competition, Tara. You really got me excited. And, because it's a flip side to it. So folks, we jump to your social media. You want to check out the links in the description of this live. So here she is, and this is from I think was your competition you last competed in. What was that
Which
film like?
team now? Oh, that one at the top. Yes, that was in April last year. My last powerlifting competition. That's me being hardcore, getting ready to squat some heavy stuff.
Yeah, I mean you look like you look pretty
I
hardcore
look like
too.
a crazy girl.
I don't know, guys like crazy girls. But like, what was that weight?
162.5 kilos. So 300 and something pounds. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I figured that out. It was at least about 300. And
Yeah,
was you did you win in that competition or
I
how
came
was your placing?
second in that one.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
tough. Yeah. I know you
yeah.
came in time, work, and then and you come up, you feel like you come up short, but still you did pretty good.
Yeah, I was happy with that. I got like PBs on everything. I think the only thing I didn't get PB on was bench at the time, but I hate bench, so it's just like whatever. But this deadlift, this was the second last my last deadlift. I cried like a baby when I got it because my dream was to get a triple body weight deadlift. So I just went for it. I didn't even know if I was going to lift it. Like you'll see my reaction to this deadlift. This was my dream. This was on my vision board for a year. I just couldn't believe I got it. So that was like 180 kilos. I cried and I went straight off the platform and got a double vodka.
So you got happy and then got drunk.
I got drunk.
Here's some more pictures of her. And wow, you're Tara, you
Well, that's
are.
just
I mean,
makeup. That ain't
I,
real.
well, I know, but still, all it does is
She was
accentuate your
very good
natural.
makeup artist.
All it does is accentuate your natural beauty. It brings more attention
Thank
to her.
you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, man, I'm a Southern gentleman. It is my right to tell a lady she's beautiful. This is one of the pictures she sent for me, and this is wow. Look at the body, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was Muscle Contest Ireland last October. No, September. September.
yeah,
So I won that one.
yeah,
That's me
yeah.
now. So I'm like 9 weeks out from my next competition. So I
And
think I'm
this is
looking better. I think I'm looking better than last year.
well, like I said, it's also this is one of your sponsors.
Yes, I'm sponsored by a company called Prozes, and it's awesome. They do everything. They do clothes, supplements, food, shoes, everything. It's awesome. So I'm really, really lucky to have them.
That's good to have sponsors because you know what, bodybuilding is a very expensive sport. If you look at, especially
Oh yeah,
you're an amateur because as an amateur you have to pay entry fees, the cost of travel, you got to pay your coach, and
yeah.
then comes the other expenses such as hair, makeup, your
Oh,
posing
it's
suit.
so dear. It's so dear to enter.
Yeah,
I remember somebody in the gym say there's like people that, they wouldn't know about competitions. And they were like, how much do you get paid for competitions? I was like, I don't get paid. I pay a lot of money to enter, you know. It's
yeah.
hard, like, for an athlete to make money off it. Like, I think it just costs you a lot of money. You
Yeah.
really have to love it.
Yeah, you're mostly sometimes you, well, I say like this. You mostly competing more in the red and the black because you have to really work on a budget, especially when you have a family. You
Yeah.
know, and also you have a career. What was your career? You know,
So
what are you still working now?
I teach kids fitness classes. So I work with a company called Rinka, and I also teach horse riding as well. So I teach kids. I used to work in gyms and teach adults, but I just love working with kids. And it's like they come into the room and they're happy to be there. Do you know what I mean? So you feel so good leaving. Whereas when I was working in the gym, when you're training somebody, they don't want to be there. So it can drain you a little bit, but I think kids' feet, they give you energy, you know?
Yeah, the quote from movie the Green Mile: "Get them while they're young," because children are very more open minded. As adults, we get kind of jaded. It's hard to
Totally.
yeah, especially us men. Yeah, like we come in like, who's this pretty little fluff training me today? And you know, because you know, we look at you and you say, wow, she's yeah. And then you're a power lifter, champion power lifter. You lift more than the average man. And I think that's one thing. Go to a factor of intimidation. Some guys feel that like I've been in this content for a long time, and I've talked to ladies and seen stuff, how they feel, especially it's like when women like yourself who put on muscle, who train, it's a kind of offense to the idea of what is feminine.
Hmm. Yeah, like I have to say, any of the guys that do bodybuilding or powerlifting, there's none of that. Like there isn't. I think anybody that kind of says things about you lifting heavy weights or having muscles are like small gym bros that like kind of just mess around in the gym, don't lift. But I think it's across the board with any sports that like women are in. They can kind of, they can. I wouldn't even say it's backlash or anything like that, but there's a little bit of judgment there. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Your last competition, what was the critique of the judges? What they said that you need to work on?
posing. Yeah. They said that my physique's quite good. Like, yeah, just work on my posing. Like, it doesn't come naturally to me because I'm a power lifter, and like, I'm used to just coming out with a big, like, you know, angry face on me. So to come out with all this flowy, dancing nearly steps and that, it doesn't come naturally to me at all. So that's what I've been really working on. I've definitely built, definitely a lot bigger than my last competition, but the posing I find it doesn't come natural to me, that's for sure. So yeah, I've really had to work on that this year.
Well, here's a video from you winning competition, PCA. You were doing physique. Your pose is really good, you know. And also, this is from the same video earlier from a powerlifting.
Hmm.
It's about transition and finding something that
Totally.
makes you feel comfortable with. You know,
Yeah.
which you prefer more? You prefer a figure or you prefer physique?
Um, Figure I think suits me better because I'm quite X-framed. So that I was actually competing in figure in those pictures. When you do your routine, it's without shoes. So I've always competed at figure. I've never done physique. I quite like figure. I think it's quite a feminine class. Not saying that physique isn't a feminine class, but I think it suits me better. I'm quite X framed, so it suits me better.
Because you said earlier, your coach was working with you. You said how much wider your back was instead of compared to
My
wellness.
back
Because
is huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
but because I think every person, every woman who gets to a certain division needs to find the one that fits their aesthetics. Like I look at wellness, some of those women they have, as I said, this the Afro aesthetics, the bigger hips, bigger quads, you
Hmm.
know, more bottom heavy, dominant.
Yeah.
You look at bikini, it's supposed to be more slim, more athletic built.
Hmm.
Figure, y'all girls a little bit wider, taller, broader shoulders. Physique is very more of an athletic build, and women's bodybuilding is the top epsilon of the divisions, where
Yeah.
it's more bubbly muscles, more fullness and distancing the muscle bellies. There's also fit model, excuse me. You know, I see it as a bastard division. I'm just
You
me.
don't
I'm
like
just
it?
no. I feel like this. This is how I feel like this. If there was a problem with certain divisions, the judges need to talk to the competitors, let them know, and try to curtail it. Not try to bring
Mhm.
in something else as a throwback, and
Yeah.
then end up involving like the division is supposed to be copying from. In the next few years, like if I just saw a guy named name is AJ. He runs Female Bottom Channel. Check out his stuff. He was at the UK show. He was interviewing one of the wellness competitors. That girl, she was just showing off her front. You always see the quads, the abs, upper body. You wouldn't think of it. You would think she was physique or figure. How
Hmm.
dense her muscles is, how developed she is, and what you bring in the division is going to end up after a while because the training practice will change over time, looking like a division you're supposed to be replacing.
Yeah. The thing that surprises me since they brought in Fit Model is I was expecting, because they have that category in, that bikini would become a little tiny bit more muscular and a little bit leaner, but it hasn't. Like any of the shows last year, any of the girls that placed came in a little bit soft. So it was a bit surprising for me. I was thinking because they had Fit Model in, that that would be the softer category, but it hasn't been. Have you noticed that yourself?
Well, not too much because, like I said, I follow more than you in the NPC. I follow a little bit more the NPC and the IFBB. And when you get to the IFBB, the level changes. You have to step it
Yeah.
up. In the
Hmm.
NPC, those women, yeah, they start off. You start off at the bottom. You start off, you grow. But then when
Yeah.
you hit the big show like the IFBB, then you hit a certain level. Like again, you look at girls right now in bikini that they have more styration in their glutes. They don't want that too much in the glutes. But I've seen girls who have it. I
Yeah.
interviewed a young lady a while back. She got a pro call a couple years at nationals, and she's a bikini competitor. She is about, if you look at her physique, she's borderline between figure and physique that she is bikini.
Yeah.
As you know, it's supposed to be more round, feminine. Certain bit, but she does have more predominant abs, more definition of shoulders.
Hmm.
It's and thing also about the judges. They're the ones who set the rules and the standards. If you're seeing competitors that looking like how your coach looked at you when you're training and say you need to do figure set of wellness,
Hmm.
I think the judges need also put. But I'm having ladies. I'm seeing ladies right now who's sitting in 200 pounds, and they're in WPD.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
remember when I did a PCA show, I went in, it was 2 years ago. So I went in at athletic figure, and I was the only girl. It was a very small show in Ireland. It's the only girl that was doing athletic figure. So they came to me and they said, "You're the only one that's doing it." And I was like, "Oh, I don't want to be standing there doing comparisons with myself. Can I step in with another class?" So, like they have, I think toned figure, athletic figure, and then trained figure would nearly be the physique girls. Like it would be quite lean. So I was running behind with hair and makeup. So I said, "Can I step in with the trained girls?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's fine. That's fine." So I was like walking out onto the stage, stepped out on stage, and the judge announced, "We're going to judge this as a straight class." And I was literally like, if you were to see my face, I was like, I wasn't prepared for it. Like I wasn't lean enough to be trained figure. I didn't think I was big enough to be trained figure. But with PCA, they would do that. If the judges see you backstage and they feel like you're not in your category, they will move you on the day. And I've heard of a girl that was doing bikini and they moved to figure, and she had never done figure poses in her life, and she won. The judges were right. She just watched the pose and practice, the pose and backstage, stepped out there and won her class.
that's pretty good.
So
I
it has
mean,
happened. It has happened to me. It's really funny if you see that video. I'm like smiling, and they say, and I'm like, keep smiling. I nearly won that class. I came second.
that's the point. You have to go with a smile because
Yeah,
that's what they
I,
want to see. You have to like. I think one thing I think somebody told me that more thing that hurts them on stage, not the just the pose and just to keep up that smile. So that even you turn your back, just so I can frown. But no, you can't. You can't. So now you can't lay it down because the judges want
it's
to see
really
that.
hard, and I'm such a happy person. Like I feel like I'm quite a happy, good humored person. But when I do powerlifting competitions, I'm very much in the zone and I look angry. Like you've seen my videos, and people meet me in real life and they're like, "Oh, you're actually like really, really nice." So I'm trying to get out when I step on stage for bodybuilding to get out of that, in the zone thing and just be, you know, smile and look around and all that. It's hard. It's hard flipping over.
Yeah. Just a while back, while I was researching, I found this video. I would play it because I gotta be careful because YouTube, it's a paid
Oh, the
promotion,
Trent Wars one.
yeah, and I gotta be careful about playing anything because sometimes I might get a strike, whatever, because
Yeah, I
it
don't
was a
think
comp.
they do it anymore. Those strength work guys, I think they're gone anyways. But yeah, like that was like when I just first started training, like, that I got picked to go onto that show. But it was like, like when I look back, like, okay, I'm going to ask you, you watched all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what did you think of it?
It was really tough. I mean, you were going through a lot. I mean, the other woman, she would drink a lot of water at one point. You were good part of the lead for it, but then I think they may not have counted a couple of your pull-ups.
Yeah, I
Uh,
could not do pull-ups.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then I think it was just it's kind of like I think something I heard about high rocks. If you ever heard of that one, where they
Yeah, it
do
was
a
like
lot of
CrossFit.
yeah, it's like CrossFit, but it's high rock and CrossFit
Mhm.
because that's a very popular sport. CrossFit, he's getting more attention on television than bodybuilding. I mean, it was pretty good. What was your thoughts? How was your feeling?
So when it happened, I would have watched that show. Like, that would have been a big show back in the day. Like, do you know what I mean? It would have been a really, really big YouTube show. I think in America they tried to do one, but it never took off. And Czech Republic did one. So it was a really big show. And I watched that show when I first got into powerlifting. So I was following them on Facebook, and there was an Irish guy on it, and he had done they had like a tournament, so he was doing the tournament, and I'd met him at a powerlifting competition, and he was saying, oh, like, it was the one powerlifting competition that I'd done. He was like saying, you did really well, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, I'd seen on Facebook that they were looking for women to do a female version. And I was like, oh, I'm totally going to like put my name in for this. I'd only been lifting like 8 months. I think it was like 8 months I've been lifting. But I was like, I'm going to put my name in for it. I was totally brought over there because the girl that I was competing against, she was dating the guy that was over that. Okay. So they did this thing of like, oh, we looked far and wide to try and find somebody to compete against Connie. Connie was from there. She was training in that gym. I was brought there to lose against her. And that is a fact, because the parkour was built for her. I was a power lifter. They had clean and presses. I'd never done a clean and press in my life. So I had to like learn clean and presses. I was given the routine like 3 or 4 weeks before. I'd never done a pull-up. I lied and said that I knew how to do pull-ups. I didn't know how to do a single pull-up. So I got like, do you know the little ones you put in between the door? Put that in my bedroom door. Every time I walked through my bedroom, I did a pull-up. I could do one pull-up. And every time I walked through the bedroom door, I did one pull-up. And then eventually I could do 2 pull-ups, 3 pull-ups, 4. Now, on the show, my pull-ups were crappy because I had literally just learned. I totally winged it. So it was all built for her. It was like, I think it worked out at like 25 pull-ups. She was calisthenics and I was a powerlifter. So there was like 10 deadlifts. No, 15 deadlifts. That was my thing. Clean and presses, I'd never done that before in my life. Dips, calisthenics, and then 2 sets of, like, I think one of them was like burpee pull-ups or something like that. But it was so obvious. So when I went over there, they were recording her. It was all about her, all about Connie. And they were like, okay, we're going to record some bits with you to use for the video. It was like me repping 60 kilos on a deadlift for like 10 seconds. And that was my bit. Like, if you watch that video, it was all about her. And they put all the calisthenics at the end. But I knew that. I knew I was going in there as the underdog. And I knew that I was being brought there to like up her online persona. Like, she's a influencer online. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give her a run for her money and I'm just going to do the best that I can. And I love being a freaking underdog. I love being the underdog. So I was like, all right, I'll just go for it. But if you look at the comments, everyone copped onto it. Everyone was like, that was built for her. And it was. And even afterwards, she shook my hand and off they went like.
So they brought you in as a jabroni. So when you come in
They
there,
brought me in to lose. I did
what?
lose, but I gave her a good fight. And months later, I asked her again. I was like, let's do it again. And she turned me down, and I would have whooped her ass.
Yeah,
Fact.
so she act like because you wanted a rematch. She turned into a yellow baby, a sucking dog. As we call it in the country.
No, she turned it down because she knew I was literally new to it. And then, to any sort of training. But like after a year, I would have wiped the floor with her, wiped the floor. But I challenged her again and she said no.
That's the thing is, You look pretty good. You were doing pretty good. I was really rooting for you. I was certain that, but then
Everyone loves an underdog.
yeah, that thing is about underdogs. We love our underdogs. We
Yeah.
like as you know, the most classic movie of all time is the first Rocky movie. Even though he lost, he became a hero, and he won the second movie. Then he lost in the third movie and come back and he beat
It's
up
because
the
he
dude
had
in the
heart.
streets. Yeah,
He
yeah,
had, and like watching me in that, I had heart. Like I just wouldn't stop. Like I would not stop. I was like, I'm still gonna keep going. I'm still gonna try beat her. I knew I was brought there. And when I found out who I was going up against, when I found out the parkour, I knew I was going to lose. I knew it was built for her, but I was like, I'm going to Berlin. I spent the whole day before, went all around Berlin when everybody had the time of my life. I was like, I am making the most out of this. And I did, and I had a great time. And, I got like a good few followers from that. So it wasn't all so bad. I didn't go over there and think, oh, this is crap. I was like, this is an experience. It's a life experience. I'm going to Germany. And I'm going to be on a YouTube channel. Why not? Like, why the hell not?
yeah. It's great to just go someplace different. Like with me, I'm a homebody. I rarely go over anything. Was it just a while back? I went to a couple places this year. I went to a bodybuilding show in Tampa. 'Cause my friend Eunice, she was there, and her company Bad Rap had a booth there. She competed the day before in a masters show, won her division, and it was a great opportunity for me. I got to meet some ladies, talk to them, meet some other people. For me, it was just something great. It wasn't my first time going by this show. My first time was in 2022, and I got to meet some ladies I've interviewed and some ladies I follow on social media and ladies I've followed years in bodybuilding. So
Yeah.
meeting people and getting a chance to like right now, I'm planning on going to the show in a few months. And right now I got to get myself a real ID because I don't have one of those. I've never been on a plane in my life. I mean,
Never.
no, never,
Oh
never.
God,
I've
you
been on.
are a home bird.
Yeah, no, no, no. I don't know. There used to be an old TV show. I don't think it was probably a little before your time. It was called A-Team. It starred Mr. T.
I remember
And
that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
old. I'm old. I'm not that young.
You're not that. No,
I'm not that young. I
you're not
remember
that.
the
You're not
80s.
that old yet, but you're not that young. I'm getting up there. But remember, Mr. T. He used to always say, "I don't want you to play fool." And that's how my mind said. I don't want to be in the play. We got here some people coming through. We got one of my man Jeff coming through. He says, "Hey George, hey Jeff." He says also this. He says, "I will not be able to attend some Muscle Monday and the Sunday. I actually saw a video of you powerlifting." Oh, thanks, Jeff. He's a fan of yours. Also, he says, "Hey Tara, you should do American Gladiators. I would watch you."
I would
And
totally do it. I'm a
because
yes girl.
yeah, I think they got a new series coming out in next month. A couple ladies, one of them I actually interviewed, her name is Danny Means, and she's a figure competitor, and she is Ivy
I've
Pro.
seen her.
Yeah, yeah. I interviewed Danny a while back. Also another lady, La Fista, she's also competing in that show. I also interviewed a young lady. Her name is Jamie Morris. She's from Australia. She actually did a show called Gladiators. She was one of the gladiators in that show. That thing is that I think like the discussion about again about women in bodybuilding and also this bodybuilding in general. Like back in the day when I was coming up, you used to catch on network television, you can catch on cable because I think it goes to association the use of performance enhancers and all that other stuff. I think it gets that kind of stink eye. But
Mhm.
other sports they use that. Like one of your countrymen is from the sport of MMA. That's Conor McGregor. And
Oh,
and
do you know what? We don't want Conor McGregor. We can't stand him.
yeah, we don't
We're
want him.
saying,
What we
we're saying
what
to the UK, you can have him. We don't want. We hate him.
What I'm so I mean back in the
He's
day, people
embarrassing.
back when he first started, he was really good. People liked him, but
I
then I
know. It
think,
all went to his head, didn't it?
yeah, I think it happened after that fight with Mayweather. And I think everything changed after that. I mean, because that was the biggest payday he ever got. Mayweather
Mm,
don't fight for nothing less for 100,000. He got maybe half that, and then Dana White, like any pimp, he has to take his cut. You know,
yeah.
but yeah, apologize for that. We don't want him either, but you know. But we got here another shout out to my man Jeff. He says Tara, I love you to come to North Carolina and compete. Yeah, well, she for all of her to compete in the states, Jeff. It has to be like a world, like maybe a worldwide qualification show. Maybe get a
I
pro
got a few
card.
invites to America to compete in powerlifting. I got invited to the week of the Arnold, but I was like, I'm in the middle of a bodybuilding prep. So I might do that next year. It's a lot of money, though. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of money. I think that's in
Mm,
Las Vegas. Yeah, it'll
yeah.
be in Las Vegas.
Well, the
I'll be
Arnold
in.
Classic, it's in Ohio, so it's not too
Yeah, there
Ohio's.
was another one in Las Vegas. It's during the Arnold weekend. So, but I said it was way too soon. So they said that they would ask me in 2027. But I I would want to know that I'm going to win. Like if I'm going to spend that much money on a plane ticket, I'd be like, I'm not going over there spending that much money and then coming last. So we'll
Well,
see how good I get over next year.
here is about the Arnold Classic. I'm not a big fan of, especially what he has done when it comes to certain divisions. I just interviewed a young lady a couple of weeks ago who got a pro card at the Arnold Classic. Her name is Brittany Hardiman, and shout out to her. She got a pro card figure. She's a figure competitor. I've seen the link. You can check her out. And here's my thing about Arnold when it comes to that. He pushed out divisions like women's bodybuilding, figure, and physique. Now you still have fitness, and
Hmm.
then you have, as I call them, the TA divisions like wellness and also bikini.
Yeah,
And then most definitely in the future he's going to pick up. I thought he could do it this year. My guess, because remember this is an invitational show, so they don't have a lot of new pros just yet competing and get attention. So we're probably going to see Fit Model next year. I'm
mm,
not too much of a fan of this show. I will support the fitness competitors because at the Arnold Classic, 3 ladies I've interviewed competed that show, and then a couple of interviewed did this show in UK. I feel like this being one of the biggest shows in the sport of bodybuilding, especially now would be, it should be more opportunities, especially when it comes to the women in certain divisions, even your division.
yeah, definitely. I think wasn't he trying to get rid of the shorts in the men's physique as well?
Well, he got rid of 212. He got rid of 212
Yeah,
because I don't pay too much because all these just guys who probably can go either to open or guys can go to classic.
yeah,
That's what I see it like that. And he's not a big fan of it. He don't like the little guys. But some of those
no,
guys, most of those guys are like, when I was in Tampa, I ran into Derek Lumford. That was just right before he won the Olympia. And I realized how short he was. I'm like 5'7". I think he's like maybe 5'5". And a lot of
oh
those, I
wow,
think the biggest guy around is probably a guy like Samson Dua. He's from the UK. He's
yeah,
big brother. I've seen pictures of him, seen the dude. I know people, ladies know him, say, hey, he's a big dude.
mm,
I think it's about the aesthetics of how the women are involved in the sport. Like I just watched this interview with a lady who I'm a big fan of back in the day, Bev Francis. Bev was amazing female bodybuilder. She was an architect for how this show evolved, how the bodybuilding evolved for women over time. She came in about the early '80s, did a movie called Pump and Iron, and she was just a big attention of it. And then when she came in a monster, she left a monster. And I think again we go back how people look at it when you see a standpoint like yourself, like I said, you're an attractive lady, you got kids, you got a husband. But then we go back how people who are just like, watch one of Yellow's muscles. Like when you're out about with your kids and your family, what's that like for you in the public?
like we're having muscles.
Hmm.
Um, I think my kids are proud of me. Like I often say to them, "Do you mind?" Because like I don't want my lifestyle affecting them. Like obviously I'm a mum, but they're proud of me and they're like, no, like we love it. So they're fine. I don't know, like in terms of the friends, and then I would say, like, do your friends say anything or anything like that? And they're like, no, they don't say anything. So, kids are different. I think kids are very different nowadays. They're much more diverse. And, even seeing kids like when we were in Ireland, I mean, we didn't have people from other countries or anything like that. So it was very different. So even if we'd seen a woman with muscle, we would have been like, whoa, like, what is this? But nowadays, they're very diverse. We've got people from other countries living in Ireland. So they don't really bat an eyelid. Even in my class, the kids are kind of like, oh, show me your abs. Or, do you know what I mean? They'll ask to see something and they're like so impressed. I think it's the older generation. And you kind of get like, oh, I wouldn't get on the wrong side of you. And it's like, I don't fight people. Do you know what I mean? Just because I've muscle and I'm a woman, it doesn't mean I'm aggressive. Like I lift weights, that's it. But that's kind of what I would get, or I'd get, why do you do it? Why do you do it? Like, what do you get out of it? And it's like, I get so much out of it. Get so much out of it. But that would be the older generation. I
Hmm.
think people nowadays, I think they're quite open to it. I do get looks and something like that. But I'm a bit, but I was called is it sleeper build the other day? Somebody called me a sleeper build. Wear baggy jumpers and baggy clothes. And then all of a sudden you whip them off and you're like, whoa, like she's massive. So I don't really go around with like tank tops or stuff like that. I kind of wear like baggy clothes. I don't get too many looks. But yeah, I have to say it's been quite positive. um, I don't really get much. Sometimes online, people will send messages, but I'm just like, okay, block.
Yeah,
Good luck, weak
yeah,
little boy.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't get involved in it. Like,
Yeah, because that's the thing is, it's always that the keyboard warriors who
hmm
have their opinion, what they think.
there's no pictures. There's like no profile picture. When you click on, there's not a single post, or it's like everything's private and no posts, and it's like, oh, like go away, get a life.
That's what we call chicken shits. Your account.
Totally. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. And it's always people that don't train, or if they do, they train crappy. Like, do you know what I mean? It's never somebody. I've never had negativity from somebody actually that competes. Do you know what I mean? Never, never. They
mm-hmm,
kind of
hmm.
like they understand and they admire you. It's always the people that do nothing, like they have had nothing in their life, do nothing in their lives. Yeah, exactly. Sitting behind a computer screen, giving out to the world. So I just don't get dragged into it because I know what sort of person you're dealing with. Like, I wouldn't waste a breath of my air on that person.
Yeah, this thing is, you don't have enough strength to bust a grape when you comment on somebody. I view a lady. Her name is Tina. She is a beautiful woman. She has 3 kids. For me, I think she's attractive. I think you're attractive. I think some ladies. There's some ladies who have. There's some ladies who are a little hard, but everybody's beauty
Mhm.
standard is different. But I think we go back again to how people have their ideology, what is feminine, what is supposed to be. Men supposed to have. I don't have muscles. I used to have them, but they're under the disc. And it's just that if you're comfortable with who you are, I wouldn't waste my time worrying about anybody else.
Totally.
Here we got here, my man, shout out to my man Jeff. He says, I like Mr. T. Thank you, Jeff. I was a big fan of his too, also. Also, Tara, you remember a show called I Love Lucy? Back in the day.
I don't know
Also,
that one. No.
yeah, it was before either of us was born.
So
Probably when my
yeah,
parents were little.
I
Your
mean,
parents were little.
in Ireland, we had 2 channels back when I was a kid, so we were very limited. I actually have a funny story when you were saying about guys with muscle. I actually have a really funny story. I was driving down, we've got little country lanes in Ireland, and I was driving down a country lane, and this little boy racer, we called him, he was like flying along and like hit my wing mirror, my car, and just kept driving. And I was like, I'm gonna get him. So I like turned my car around, sped after him, drove after him. And it was a really, really hot day. I was after been working on the yard with the horses. I had a tank top on. I like he pulled into his house and I pulled up to the house after. And I was like, "Man, you're after hitting my wing mirror of my car. You're after driving off." And he started like roaring at me. He was like, "Ugh," and he was like, "Look at you. You're a man. You're a man." Because I had a tank top. And I was like, do you know what? You're going to keep giving me grief. I was like, I'm going to make one phone call. If you think I look like a man and I'm big, wait until you see my fella. So he like shut up straight away then. Yeah.
I don't know. If I saw you coming out wearing a tank top, you've been sweating, busting. I'll say, I don't know. I don't have 2 reactions. I'm only gonna be scared stiff or just stiff. I don't just, but I'm just like,
One or the other.
yeah, I'm just
I
like
think
saying,
he was scared. He was like, do you know those little dogs that like yap through a gate? Because he wouldn't open up the gate to the house. So do you know those like little Yorkshire Terrier dogs are like, so he was like that. And he actually sent his dad out and his dad sorted out my car. So I was just like, oh, yeah, you're a big
yeah,
man. But that's why
yeah.
I said to him, he was like, oh, you're a man. He was like, you big man with your big arms. So I was like, I'm going to send my guy down and he's got way bigger arms than me and he'll sort you out.
And that goes back to the, I don't see nothing manly about you. I don't.
Yeah,
It,
I don't think so. I'm quite feminine. Like I like my makeup, I like my nails, I like my hair, I like my muscles. Like, you
yeah,
know, I
and
think it's very old fashioned, and if you look at girls going to the gym now, like man, they're taking over. Like some of them are like unbelievably strong, unbelievably ripped. It was because we were never given that opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And it's not that one's better than the other. It's like we're all in our own lane.
Yeah,
You
especially I
know?
think other countries. If you look at like Ireland's a very traditional country. I've interviewed ladies from Singapore, ladies who come from Asia, ladies in South America, like places like Mexico or Brazil. I think Brazil is very popular about bodybuilding. It's really
Yeah.
grown there because there's quite a few shows, quite a few competitors from that country also. And I think it's a tradition of what is considered, again, the idea of femininity. And then you
Hmm.
see women like yourself, who's not that big. You're not like you're a monster. But
Hmm.
again, I keep saying there are some beautiful women. One woman I want to bring up here, and I'm a fan of her. I think she's beautiful. Just, as you know, I shout out to Triple O Dynasty. She's one promoter of Triple O Dynasty, and that is I call her my girlfriend. She's Andrea Shaw, six-time Miss
She is
Olympia.
stunning.
Yes, I mean
Yeah.
she is
I think you
amazingly.
can bring a femininity to having muscle, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
She
she
looks
does
great.
that. Yeah, she
Yeah, she
does
looks
that.
great.
This is a true story, and this is why I keep doing what I'm doing because with people like yourself and other like shout out to my friend Eunice. Me and Eunice, I got to hang out with her when I went to Tampa. Just meet her with David Lee Roth. I wouldn't have got to meet this man if I didn't go to Tampa. That's my friend Eunice. Eunice is 60 years old, and you wouldn't think she was 60. She might be in her maybe a good part of her late 40s. Where
Yeah.
Eunice was at the Olympic back in 2023, and she ran to Andrea. And it was like maybe a week after my birthday, she sent me this in the mail. It's the issue of muscle development. She's on the cover. She is one of the last women bodybuilders to be on the cover of a major magazine that did like this one because they went to print, went to online. And what makes it special, which like I said, what fuels me as a content maker on y'all ladies is when the champion, the six-time Miss Olympia, next seven-time Miss Olympia, told me she appreciates what I do and thank you, loves my support. And you know what? For me, this is my payment. For my other guy, like that, when you get something, never do it for free. And for me, that is my payment. Oh yeah, before I leave you, Tara, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful. I'm sorry about him. I'm
He's
seeing
so
his
nice. I
expression.
like him.
Yeah, I know.
He's very
He's a,
complimentary.
yeah, he's a particular crap timber. He's like chaos anarchy, So, but yeah, I think everybody has to be comfortable who they are. Like myself, I know I'm not the standard of what everybody looks at when you see a man. I'm a little roundish, but you know what? You have to live your life for yourself. No, not worry about everybody else.
Of course. And I think when you get to a certain age, you realize that. And that's when you're free, when you stop worrying about other people. It's when you're free and when you chase what you want to do.
hmm We have here Sadie saying says, shout to Sadie says, love you, Tara. Thank you, Sadie. Shout to my man here, Jeff. He's sticking here says, Tara, I love to interview you on my podcast. Well, reach out, brother. You know the
Send
links.
me a DM.
Yeah, send a DM, but nothing weird. So your last
No, no weird
competition,
DM.
yeah, your last competition, you're pretty good. What was the feedback from? Since judges say it was your posing, but what was the thing they feel like you need to work on the most?
Um, yeah, just opening up my lats. I'm very, very dense from powerlifting, so I'm quite like I have a lot of like bubbly, mature muscle. So I just need to. I do have width. I just need to connect and to open up my back more. That was like the main thing, yeah, that I need to work on. My lower body is very, very defined. It's very good. It's just yeah, lats opening up. I think my delts as well. I find them quite hard to build because my shoulders are quite long, so it's very hard for me to get like that capped look because of the insertions. Like I've quite long delts. But we put in. I'm working shoulders 3 times a week now, so they've definitely come up. I wasn't meant to compete this year. I was training with my coach a month ago, and as I said, I always wear baggy clothes, and I came down with a tank top because he was working me hard, and he looked at me and he was like, you're competing in May. I was like, no, I'm taking this year off. And he was like, no, you're ready. So I was like, when do I start prep? He was like, you've started now. So I was like, started 14 weeks out, and everybody's like 20, 16 weeks out. So he better be right. I better get my pro card.
Yeah, and that's in the PCA. So if you get your pro
I'm
card in the
doing
PCA,
muscle contest, sorry, in
yeah.
May. Yeah.
So if you get your pro, would you want to join us over here in the NPC and IVB? Are you tempted by that?
Yeah, I would.
We can definitely can use a new crop, especially from your part of the world, because go back to this bodybuilding, even though it's very not as well known or as extended as other sports, but it has a growing community. So again, it's going across the world. You know, we can use someone like yourself. You have great personality, about experience about yourself, and it's a great way to maybe to bring recognitions, because like being a fan of bodybuilding, is there anybody in the sport other than your coach did you really follow, admire when you started this path?
Oh God, there's loads. I really liked. There's an Irish girl now. She was wellness, Natalia. Do not ask me her surname. She went pro, but I would have worked in the gym that she trained in. And God, when she used to walk into the gym, I was like, wow, like she was amazing, amazing. So I always like looked up to her, and I actually would talk to her. She's gone back to Poland, and I'll send you her link. She'd be quite good to interview. She's class, like she's just unbelievable. So I would have looked up to her. It was a lot of people that I would have met. We would have had a lot of good bodybuilders in Ireland, like Tommy Staunton, Vinnie Crane, like all of those. They would have trained in the gym that I worked in. So before I'd done bodybuilding, they were like, I was like, wow, like these people are unbelievable. So it's nice that I'm in that community. They know me now because I would have really looked up to them before I even started.
It's good to have somebody that you don't want to be them, but you admire their work, their ethic.
Admire, yeah, their
Yeah,
work ethic, like,
that's
yeah,
important
for
as well,
sure.
because this sport, it can be for a woman. There's a lot of aspects to it that can be so much, the training, the dieting, again, getting ready for competition. Like I look at this, if you look at show day for a man is just a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. That's about it. For y'all ladies, show day is getting your tan. Make sure you got the glue on your butt on your posing suits, your hair, makeup done. You're doing figure where you have to have your shoes on.
Yeah,
It's the biggest expense because you have to bring this presentation of muscularity and femininity.
femininity, yeah.
Yeah. And again, you talk about the cost of like me trying to come to show like a show here to the States. That's an expense. And you have that one sponsor. Do you have any other sponsors?
I'm sponsored, so my sunbed is sponsored as well, and I am sponsored with the gym that I'm in. So I actually train in a hotel gym midweek. So it just goes to show you don't need fancy gyms to build muscle. It's a hotel gym, so they sponsor me. And I also train in another gym, which would be a bodybuilding gym, but I only train there at the weekends. So that would have the fancy equipment. I'm not sponsored by them, but I am sponsored by the hotel gym. But that's it. Like the rest comes from my pocket.
Yeah, because I think that's expensive of the food, the travel, the
Everything,
entry
coaching,
fees, coach, everything, photo
physio,
shoots,
massage. Yeah, it's
r-
crazy. It all adds
rest
up. It's
recovery.
things you don't think about. Like there's
Yeah.
things that you don't think about because you're not expecting to get injured or have muscle tightness, but you probably will. So you need to take all those things into consideration.
Yeah. Seeing a doctor, a chiropractor, massage
Blood work,
therapist,
everything. Yeah,
blood work,
there's so
because
much.
everybody thinks this is the thing about people who think about bodybuilding. It's just you just take some pills and you could be like Arnold, Arnold. But no, that's the pills. Whatever that's
Yeah.
not going to be natural, and that's the thing they don't really use or need. But if you are, it's only for recovery. It helps heal the muscles to help those strains, because when we're lifting, you're ripping muscles every single time, but it's just building it back up. It helps you
Mhm.
recover faster. It goes in, and people are always going to point that finger when it comes to bodybuilding. But other sports, they're not going to point fingers bad because those sports are very more mainstream.
Mhm.
It was years ago we had a situation in baseball here in the States where we had some baseball players got busted for using performance enhancers. But because it's such a very rich and wealthy sport, they get a little stink eye, but they just don't pay attention as much to it. But
Mhm.
that thing is, it's about a passion for a lot of you competitors. It's about discipline, about consistency, it's about determination. Like, what's like during the week? Like you said, you work in the gym. What's your schedule like as you train?
I am insane. I train 3 to 4 hours a day. I'm a mad woman, and everyone would say it. So I train powerlifting and bodybuilding. So I will wake up. I like to do my hair, makeup, have my coffee. That is my me time on my own, the best time ever. Yeah. And then do the school runs with the kids, drop them to school. I work evenings, so I train in the morning, which suits me better. So I will do mobility first, any pose and practice. Then I will do powerlifting. So I'll do my powerlifting training. I have a powerlifting coach, Eamon Halford. He's a great powerlifter in Ireland. Then I will go and I will have my intrameal. So like I'll have a bit of carbs, like usually it's fruit. But I have to change my mindset during that meal as well because I'm going from powerlifting training to bodybuilding training. So it's different training. Powerlifting, you're moving the weight. Bodybuilding, you're connecting with your muscle. So I will take time, step out of the gym, have that meal and reset again. Go back and do my bodybuilding training. So I could be training from 9 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock. I have cardio as well on prep. Pick up my daughter and then I work. So I teach my classes in the evening time. Come home, have my meals, housewife stuff, cleaning up, giving the kids their dinner, doing their homework, prepping all my gym bags for the next day, go to bed, wake back up, go again.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, you have to be a special breed to do this because you have to have two minds.
Yeah,
'Cause you have to,
mental,
yeah, you have to take one mind and split it as a
psychotic.
bodybuilder and split the other one as a power lifter.
Yeah.
And then also you have to be a mom. You got to take care
Hmm.
of your kids. You got to be a teacher. You got to be a wife. You have to be, a lot. That's the thing. It's like that that Whitney Houston song. I'm every woman. That's all I can be.
Yeah, no, it is. It's like, yeah, and you have to be able to switch off. Like, so when I go home, that's it. I'm mom, I'm partner, and then I wake up, right, and going to the gym. But I love it. Like, I even though I'm so busy, I'm so up to my eyes. Some days I'm like, why the hell did I take so much on? But I love it. I live for it. I could be in the gym. The only reason I leave the gym is I've got other things to do. I could easily spend the whole day training. Like I love it so much.
It's like bodybuilding, like the Peace Corps, the toughest job you ever love. Because you know what, you gotta love what you do. Because you know what, if you don't,
Totally.
you don't get no joy out of it. Again, this is a sport where you don't, unless you're the lucky few, you can make a living off of it. Most generally, everybody just living check to check, and hand to hand. And is your training? What's the thing that in your gym and you're working out? What's your favorite part of it, and which you're saying, shit, I don't want to do this.
Okay, what I don't like doing. Um, I honestly don't think there's anything. Like, don't get me wrong. There's days I go in and I'm like tired and I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to be here. But once I get going, I'm fine. But I just love like listening to music and just lifting heavy and just zoning into it. I love training my back. Like, love training my back. What do I not like training? Abs. I find it boring. No, I love it. Like honest to God, I get excited. I look at my program the night before and I get excited about the next day. That's
Mhm.
how psychotic I am. I'm not normal.
Yeah, remember it was a wrestler by the name of Scott Steiner, called himself Big Pop Pup. I'm a genetic freak and I'm not normal. So you should know what, next time if you do get your PCA card as a pro, you should put on your belt Mad Mooney.
I love it. I think I've been called that before. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure at some stage of my life.
yeah.
I think
You know,
my
you come.
family is known as the Mad Moonies.
That'd be something. Y'all have y'all. We have next family union. You have y'all shirts on. Y'all coming in. The Mad Moonies. I mean,
The
hey,
Mad Moonies.
yo,
Everyone's
the
like, stay
Moonies
away
down the
from
road.
them.
Those Moonies down the road. Yo, hey, yo. You
I'm
know,
pretty sure we have that. Yeah.
and that one girl, she's not.
Yeah,
She's
the
strong.
middle
I saw
one.
her pick up a
I
truck.
was always known as the one that broke her back. Oh, is that the one that broke her back? I hope now I'm known as like the bodybuilding or the gym girl, but I was like the Mooney, the girl that broke her back. I was like, I have to beat this legacy. I can't be known as this girl.
Going back to that, what was that feeling during that time when you were young with that issue? What? How did it happen?
I fell off a horse. So I was like, we used to go like hunting, like, when they have like the dogs and they have like the horn. Now, we never
Yeah.
like chased animals, but it was like, pretty sure they have like a scent that the dogs follow. So we used to do that every Sunday. Me, my dad, and my sister, and my uncle, family tradition, load the horses up when we go hunting every Sunday morning in the winter time. And I had like a pony and he jumped over, like, so we were like jumping jumps out in this field where there was like probably like 50 or 60 other people. And my horse jumped over the jump, but he caught his front legs and he somersaulted kind of and threw me off. And I knew when I landed that I'd done something to my back. So I knew I was winded. I couldn't move anyways. So when I was brought to the hospital, I had two compressed vertebrae, thoracic 7 and thoracic 8. So they got like from this went down like that. Yeah. And the two of them had like fractures, and one of them was like a hairline away from the spinal cord. Like I was so close to being paralyzed, like so close. So they didn't know whether to do surgery on me or what to do. So they ended up putting a back brace on me. Um, and I had to wear it for like 6 months, but it didn't phase me. Like I remember they wanted to keep me out of school, but I was like, no, I'm going back to school. Like I'm bored. And I still played PE and stuff like that with my body cast on. And they used to call me Myrtle the Turtle in school. Yeah. I didn't care. And I went to like discos and I still got boyfriends and stuff like that. And I had this like plaster of carrot or Paris thing on. And I even said to them when they were making it, I was like 14, I said, give me boobs. I want boobs like Victoria Beckham. And they did. Probably how I got my boyfriend at the disco, and then they took the cast off, and they were like, "Oh no, there's actually nothing there."
You got excited. Say, I'm getting some titties, and they said, "What's that?"
Yeah. When I came back to school after it was taken off, they were like, "Oh shit!" But that was my attitude. I was just like, it didn't phase me. Like it didn't phase me. And even people were worried that I wouldn't go back horse riding again. I did. And I went and I did the same thing again. It never phased me. But the doctor had said, so obviously I had to go in for checkups. And on the last day for my last checkup, God, he gave me a list of things I was never to do again in my life. So I wasn't allowed to get pregnant. I broke that. I wasn't allowed to put on weight. I broke that. I wasn't allowed to take part in contact sports. And I wasn't allowed to lift anything heavy. And I don't know if it's just me being a defiant little girl. I was always stubborn. I was like, I just ended up doing, like, out of anything, my best lift is deadlift. So, touch wood, I've had no issues with my back, nothing. And yeah, I think if anything, it just made me more determined. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the thing that caused Christopher Reeve's paralyzation, getting thrown off a horse.
Yeah,
And look
it's
what happened to him.
deadly. Like horse riding is dangerous.
Yeah, I think God looked out for you for that day. I'm not a big religious person, but I do have faith. I think there was a purpose for you. You went through a lot through that time, but that's a good thing happening when we were young. Because when you're young, you can recover, you can rebound. It's a lot harder when you're older. Like I got issues right now. I have two bad knees, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, because I'm getting older, put on weight. I have a pacemaker I got like about 12 years ago because of issues in my heart. But I think things happen for a reason, and some of those things we grow and become a better person. It makes us appreciate what we got. I know your boyfriend was disappointing where you saw those things. It's like I'm like all you saw was nipples. Like, those are nipples.
But it just goes to show my attitude. I think because I was 14 as well. I mean, when you're 14, you're invincible. You don't care about anything. Like, do you know what I mean? You've like very, very different. Now I've kids. I honestly think you look after yourself as a woman after you have children. You don't put yourself in those situations. But I think it was probably a good thing that it happened when I was 14 because my attitude was like, sure, I'll be fine. Like, it's grand. I remember I used to jump up on my horse, when nobody was looking, like with my back brace on. I was like, but sure, it's fine. It's going to get better. It's going to be okay. But obviously now, as an adult, when you realize how serious that is and the implications that there could be to it, you would definitely think about it differently. That's for sure.
I think when we're younger, we think we are immortal. We're invincible.
Yeah. Especially a
But
teenager, like.
Yeah, but then we get older, you start counting your times, your immortality, and especially when you have children, because you want to be responsible for them. Because still, you still got two young kids, and
Yeah.
they most definitely need you. As one thing is my mother. I can say this: my mother took care of me, and my brothers and sisters, and when she got sick, I took care of her, and that was the biggest thing I did for her because she was going through a lot. And you know what? And it's tough, because he also passed away during the pandemic in 2020.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But doing this content and getting to meet you ladies, taking care of her got me inspired to do this. Because a friend of mine, I met him on social media. He told me, George, do something that you like to do. And I said, you know what? I'm a big fan of your bodybuilders. I like talk about you ladies. I do content on it. Then I started doing interviews and started meeting some ladies. And really, it really this is my purpose for me because I don't have the pleasure of having children. I have nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews. They're grown, have their kids like that. But this is something that gives me a purpose. And that's like with powerlifting and bodybuilding. It gives you a purpose.
Yeah.
And if people don't understand your purpose, it's not meant for them to understand. It's meant for you to understand.
And I think if you don't find your purpose, it's like, will you die not being, what's the word for it?
Fulfilled?
Like where you feel like you've achieved something in your life, and that's why I say yes to everything. That's why I did that bloody SAS show. That's why I did Strength Wars. That's why I tried my hand at powerlifting and a deadlift and see my body. My boyfriend do bodybuilding and said, I'll give that a go because I don't want to be on my deathbed with regret. I want to have done everything and say, yeah, I spent my 20s raising my kids. They were small. And I was in a relationship with somebody who didn't want me to do anything, wanted me to be at home looking after the kids all the time. So when I was out of that relationship and my kids were a bit older, I was like in my 30s, I was like, I'm going to say yes to everything. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And everything that comes my way, I'm going to try it. And at least I know that when I'm older, I've done it all. Everything that came my way, everything that I've wanted to do, I've done it all. No regret. No regret.
Because then you want to live your life. And I've talked to ladies who were in relationships, they were married, and then because they started sport, they either broke up, got divorced because they were doing something that was for them. Not it wasn't a good fit relationship. It was something about them. Because sometimes even in a relationship, you're still an individual. You want to take a chance, live your life. And I've talked to ladies who are in their 50s, 40s. I know a lady I interviewed a while back. She turned pro at 74 years old in bodybuilding, and I think it's just the thing is it shouldn't matter. But again, it goes back to the discipline, the consistency, and also being persistent and patient. And that's the good thing about being a parent. That helps you out. Like one thing I ask, and I gotta ask you this, Tara, because I am a fat man. I like food, and I can't help myself. I can't help it. What was that thing, especially after your last show? That thing that was calling you. That thing that, as my other guy would say, it make you stranger or make you stronger.
So what food I craved?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a weirdo. The last show, the first thing I ate was a sandwich and a cappuccino. I just wanted normal food. Yeah, I missed milk in my coffee, and a sandwich. I got a ham and cheese sandwich from a shop, basic as, and I was happy out. Now, after I did have like a couple of donuts and stuff like that, but that was my first go-to was just a sandwich. I am a basic, easy girl. Yep. Bread, butter, ham, cheese. What more could you want?
That's nothing weird because you know what? I've talked to some ladies. I know one lady told me she loves lasagna after her last competition.
Nice.
Donuts and sugar. That's one thing that a lot of like. The strangest I did hear a couple of times was sushi.
Oh no,
ma'am! I grew up a poor country boy.
That's too healthy.
I grew up a poor country boy. I never in my life had raw cold fish to eat. My mama fried our fish. I just meat. But yeah, everybody has those things because the thing is, when you're on prep and your kids, you got your kids and your 12-year-old stepdaughter and you're eating their goodies and stuff like that, and you look at them, I want to smack in your face for that.
Yeah.
And you would have to be patient and learn control because that's the thing is control, discipline, consistency, patience is an important part about being a bodybuilder. And you don't have those things like. Especially we go to competitions. I know we're talking to you ladies. There's that. If you ever heard a movie with Will Ferrell, Talladega Nights, the Ricky Bobby mentality. If you don't win, you're always last. And that's the thing about bodybuilding. It's the mentality that you have to understand. When you come into this, you have to understand that there's going to be times you're not competing against another person. You're competing against yourself.
100%. 100%. You're trying to be 1% better. And that's what I like and especially with bodybuilding, it's like you can't look at the bigger picture weeks away or you'll just want to quit. It's so far away to get that lean and do you know what I mean? To get that stage ready. It's day by day. So you just have to go one day at a time and be 1% better than you were yesterday. And that's like, tick that box off, go to bed, right? We've got tomorrow. And that's how you just get through it. Like, it is.
Yeah. And that thing is, that's the important part about this. To work, also work on your strengths as much as your weakness. Like say, you don't like abs, but you got a nice set. You got a great back. You just got to pull out your lats a little more. I would
Yeah.
say keep working with that pose and also training. That will help you out.
Mhm.
And for us people who do go to the shows, who do support y'all, we have to understand we don't know what took you to get there. The dieting, the training, the dehydration, the hangry, the tired, the recovery.
You
You
just see
know,
the finished project. Do you know what I
you
mean?
see,
You just see the
yeah,
bed.
yeah. You see
But
what we
it's
see
a
on
long
stage.
road. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. Like even the off season building, that's still work. It's still a lot of work.
Yeah, and we see these amazing bodies, but we don't understand what it took to get you there. And that's what we got to. That's why I tried my interviews to be informative, also have a little fun with it, because I want people to be knowledgeable. But also the guys out there who are fans, you ladies, we love you, ladies. There's an old smoke saying, "We ladies rock hard, we rock hard." But we respect. I respect you as a person, as a woman, as an individual who got to a sport that's very extreme. And I know you have the support of your family, your man, your kids. I mean, I know one day does he go to shows or the kids go to shows?
Oh yeah, no, the kids went to one show, um, and he goes to like every competition, everything. He's super supportive. I always thought they'd be bored, so they went to the show that I did last in Ireland. And they loved it, and they were laughing. They were laughing at the wellness girls like wigging their bums and stuff like that. They thought it was brilliant. They thought it was great, and I could hear them because I won overall at that competition, and I could hear them shouting. That meant a lot for me because that was my biggest win, and my kids were there. So it was like amazing. And they enjoyed it. And then afterwards we went for food. It was like, it was great. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah,
And do you know what? Leading up to it the day before, I had no nerves because I was busy with my kids because we had to stay overnight. It was at the bottom of Ireland, so the south of Ireland. So it distracted me from the show because obviously I had to be a mom and look after them. So it was actually a really good weekend. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if they'll go to anymore, but
yeah.
we enjoyed that one.
Well, you gotta watch out for your teenage boy. The girls taking the bums. He might be laughing at first, but
I
hey,
know, yeah.
I mean,
And
I'm
you
a
know,
teenager.
fit
I
models
would,
or
I'm,
bikini girls.
I mean, like he say, his sisters be laughing. Hey, hey, hey. He's like, wow, all right. Yeah. I mean, what?
I say you're telling all his friends about it.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about children. They're so before they really get jaded, I mean, especially getting to later the teenage years, they're just so pure and wonderful. When they're babies, they smell so nice, and then we get toddlers, and then they become teenagers. Got remember, you got to beat them down. My mom used to do. I will say that a hard head makes a soft ass, and it's good that you have that. It's good that you have support your kids, your man. I know he's there. He's clapping. That's my girl. That's my girl. And there's a guy sitting there. I said, "That's your girl." She's like Foster's Lucky Charms. She's magically delicious. Hey, bloke. I mean, but
He
yeah,
actually doesn't like me on prep. Like he prefers when I'm in off season a
soft and
little bit of
feminine.
fat, a little bit of stuff. And I have to say, as a woman, I'd be the same. I don't like these super lean guys. And when he did it looks nice, but when you feel it's a bit, ooh,
Yeah, because you
yeah,
got to think about it.
something in the middle.
Your skin is so thin. Because I know Lady told me that even
Yeah,
yeah, what like Lady told me one time when she even got in the bathtub to wash off her tan, it's like feel like pins and needles because your skin is so thin. But
yeah,
again, we do have those other side where they like the extreme
they
parts.
like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they get that's why a lot of guys come in here these as I met my crime again. I must perish smell. But when I reach out to you ladies, I go by what I said again. I go by what I see physically, but then why I read and study. That's why I ask, hey, give me some information about you, so I can learn a little more. So we have a conversation because I'm not gonna be somebody just like, hey, just asking questions. I ask them, and then I want to have a conversation where we have a back and forth. Make it it's a first date. We get to know each other and get to find out what makes each other tick, what makes you tick, what make me tick, and learn something about what we get out of this
Yeah.
information, knowledge, education. That's why I like people to, recognize what drives someone like yourself to be passionate about sports like bodybuilding and powerlifting.
I just have this drive. Like, I think when I was younger, I was a very stubborn child. You know, if I wanted to do something, that was it. And my parents never knocked it out of me. I think parents are trying to make children like robots now. It's nearly like conform them where, no, you have to do this. And you know, they're kind of like diluting this individuality. So I was stubborn, and my parents never knocked it out of me. And I always say that I'm the person I am today because of them. And a stubborn child turned into a determined adult. So I've always had this fire, determination. Anything that I do, I've always put 110% into. And I just know when I go to the gym or I'm training or my food, like everything counts. And I'm thinking of that competition, I'm thinking, I can't slack on this rep. I can't eat that. Everything is going to add up to the finishing product. But I have this fire and I have this drive and I have this determination. And I think I was born with it. I was probably known as the stubborn child, but I'm a determined adult. I think with kids, you know, hang on for the ride, let them be that strong personality. They're going to be the strong adults. And that's why I love teaching kids. They all have different individual personalities. And I think rather than us trying to, try and make them conform to this behaved child, allow them to have these strong traits. It's going to stand to them.
But also remember that they're children, they're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna
Yeah.
make bad
Yeah.
choices. We're still young. When we started out, we're like, and it's good also to be as a parent, we also have restrictions. Know your boundaries.
Yeah.
Me and my mother didn't really become friends until I got older. I was her son. She would take care of me. But then we got older. We had a we used to. I had this job. I worked like 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. I was off on Fridays, and we used to go to the yard sales, go shopping. It's good to have those bonds. I think some people want to mold a child to be like that. You can't. You have to let them learn who they want to be.
Of course. And they always come back around. Everybody was wild when they were a teenager. Everybody was wild going out as 18, 19, 20, but we all come back around in the end.
Yeah, my mom was wild. She had my sister when she was 16, and she had like
That's normal over here. That's a normal Catholic family.
yeah, we weren't Catholic. We have here someone popping in, and let me put my old man glasses for a second because again, like I said, this is from Nados One. It says hi. Doing her preparation for competition, especially when she ate her food and did she eat something else than her preparation food? Notably, see that her some body part of muscle doesn't evolve like. And also he says this. He says other muscles and needs to be more focused on that muscle. And also he says this. He says, if you understand what I am trying to say, I put on my Omega glasses for a second. My eyes come up.
So what is he saying? That if the food made one part of my body grow?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. He's asking, like, says during your preparation competition, especially when she ate her food, did she eat something else that had a preparation food? Notably, see that her some body parts of the muscles doesn't evolve like. Like, I think he's trying to ask him, like, doing your preparation, do your dieting, was there something that you ate that kind of maybe like I know somebody will tell me they don't eat a lot of fruit because it causes inflammation. Some would not have like counting your microbes.
Yeah.
When do you do that?
I follow a meal plan. So my coach does my meal plan for me. So I have like 5 meals a day. And it's really funny. Like when you're a bodybuilder, you're just a robot. I don't think about the food that I'm eating. I just follow the plan, follow the plan, follow the plan. And he'll make the changes based off how I'm looking. And every prep has been different. The first time that I did it, my food was very high and I had lots of refeeds. The second time that I did it was somewhere in the middle. Last time I had no refeeds. And then this time my food is a little bit higher. So it's really funny. Your body reacts in different ways. And that's why it's important to have a coach because they'll see that and they'll be able, whereas if I went off my prep before, I'm not going to look, do you know what I mean, any better because your body reacts completely different. And every prep for a competition has been different. So I just literally follow his guideline.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Well, with me, as my other guy says, I don't have a plan, Tara. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know to get one when I see it. Oh yes, but it's good to have a plan. But yeah, that's important about that. I know some competitors who coach themselves, but it's good to get that other eye for somebody who understands. Yes, especially as men and women, we are built different. Men, we can put on muscle a lot more and lose fat a lot more faster than women because y'all have
Yeah.
natural higher
Hmm.
BMI than men because y'all carry our children, y'all have breasts and other stuff like that. You
Hormones, all
know,
of them.
hormones. I mean, we have to
Hmm.
worry about we're men. We don't need that. But that's the thing is that trying to figure that and let's say have a coach that understands that because I think it's really important, especially for a woman, because you just can't give somebody the same plan you give to a man because a woman and man is different. I say it like this:
Totally.
we are the same species, but with different, genders, different ideals. I mean, it's always been different between men and women. And I also pointed out how the financial part of it is different because you do shows, guys don't have much to pay for, but they're having a pair of boy shorts. You ladies got your suits, your prices, everything you have the cost. And that's why I wish there was, I think, particularly for certain divisions, as you know, there were wellness and bikini get more attention because it's very feminine looking. Again, I look at girls in wellness who look like they could be doing physical figure. But I think there should be more opportunities and recognition for y'all women in your divisions.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's across the board with all sports. Like if you look at football, basketball, there's just way more um there's more of it on TV. It's more sponsorship. You know, there is way more opportunities for across the board with sports. But we are only relatively new to sports as well. Like when you think about kind of the 80s or the 90s that women started doing, becoming more involved in any sports, bodybuilding, weightlifting, basketball, football, stuff like that. So we're catching up, we're getting there. But yeah, there's definitely a huge difference in terms of sponsorship, media coverage, all of that. But I think we'll get there. I think it's moving into the right direction.
And also go back to also I do content on MMA and mixed martial arts and combat sports. And I know there's a couple of fighters that come out of Ireland that fight in UFC because
Yeah.
that's a very mainstream and violent sport. Boxing, MMA, because it's one thing to see men hit each other. It's another thing seeing women. And I think people have to be comfortable with the idea that y'all women have that same passion as men to compete, to
Mhm.
to either to lift weights, to run, to shoot a basketball, to go in a ring and hit somebody in the face. I know a couple of ladies who've done boxing before they got into bodybuilding, even mixed martial arts before they got into bodybuilding. It's about following a passion. Like anything. Like I was young, I played football in high school. I was all right, but my brother was better. My older brother, he was a lot better than I was. He really went to college, you know. But it's about finding something that you really love and that you have the discipline and the heart for it. Because most people wouldn't do what y'all do. You're a rare percent, I would say, that will invest the time, the money, the effort, the training. I couldn't do it, but I respect that you do.
I said the same. I was like, God, I'd never do that. I'm not
Yeah.
disciplined enough to do that. But you surprise yourself. If you want something bad enough, you'll find the time, you'll find the resources,
Mhm.
you'll find the discipline 100%. I'm
Mhm.
proof of that. I was a girl that was like, I'll never do that. I love my food too much, blah, blah, blah. You never know. Never say never.
Yeah, Never Say Never Again is a
Never
James
say
Bond classic.
never.
The original James Bond, John Connery was in Scotland. Y'all already showed that's different. But anyway, well, Pierce Bronson, isn't he Scottish?
Yes, he's
Irish,
Irish. We would
Irish, he's
take
Irish.
Pierce Brosnan,
So,
yeah.
so y'all, so
He's
y'all
one of
got
us.
y'all got your
Liam
bond there.
Nielsen.
Hmm?
Liam Nielsen.
Liam Neeson. Oh, Liam Neeson. He's in one of my favorite movies, Batman
Oh,
Begins.
the
Where
one, I was thinking of the name of it the other day, where he's on the
Taken,
phone.
Taken
Yes, Taken.
says, I will find you. He
Yeah,
says, good luck. And he just wiped the clean out. But he
yeah,
was,
that's a great
but
movie, isn't
yeah,
it?
but in Batman Begins, one of his favorite quotes was, beware surrounds at all time. Never gives your footing for a killing blow. Great movie. Love that. Great actor. Can't believe this guy's like pushing his 70s and he's still doing action flicks.
Yeah, he's
So
awesome.
you got one more for my man here. He says, what body part she likes the most? What was her favorite? Let me see again. Contest
Okay.
until when she planning to compete. So she really her back is pretty good. I
And
think
yeah, I
she's
like turning back. My quads are pretty good as well. I have awesome quads. All those squats. My quads
yeah.
are pretty big.
And
Um,
she said she's about a few weeks out from her next. That's in May, right?
So I'm competing bodybuilding in 9 weeks, and
9 weeks.
then I have a powerlifting competition 10 weeks after that. I am trying to kill myself.
You commit suicide. You
Yeah,
know what?
literally. Let's see what happens.
That's the thing is, it's about, again, it goes back to the discipline, determination, and the persistency and the consistency of being a bodybuilder or being a power lifter, and making those, I will say, not much of sacrifice, those investments in who you want to be in your sport of choice. I mean, which one would you feel that you would say, you know what, I'm going to stick to one, and the other one I'm going to leave to the wayside?
I have to say, I love powerlifting. Like, I love it, love it. Like, there's no feeling like a bodybuilding competition doesn't feel the same as a powerlifting competition. It's not the same. So when you step out on the platform, it's like night and day. There's just no feeling like it. But I keep getting injured every time I do powerlifting. It's very, very hard on the body. I'm hitting 41 this year. It ain't getting any easier. Um, so realistically, yeah, every time I go and I prep for a powerlifting competition, I get an injury the last 4 years. So realistically, I would probably, as much as I love powerlifting, I'd probably drop powerlifting and take up bodybuilding, because I think you can kind of avoid injury more. Powerlifting, you can't. You're lifting heavy 4 or 5 days out of the week. It's very, very tough on the body. So yeah, I think um, realistically, we're probably looking at another year or two of powerlifting. There's not a lot of powerlifters in their 40s. There really
Uh,
isn't. It's hard on the
yeah,
body, it's tough.
yeah. This is from a man here. He says, "I'm from Croatia. I don't know pounds." Well, she
Oh,
does
God, I
kilos.
don't either. I'm all kilo.
Yeah, I'm from U.S. We don't. We from America. We don't say that. Y'all got those different kind of metric system from us.
I'm
We
EU
got
as well. We're kilos.
we got pounds. We don't go. We got about miles. We're America. This is America. Son. But yeah, I think everybody finds something about something that we love about a sport, and if that sport is the one that's really maybe doing more harm than good, maybe it's because it's choice to step away from.
It's
It's
for
because it's tough.
long. I want to train long term, and I don't want where, I'm doing something because I love it, but then it's stopping me in my tracks. Then, do you know what I mean? As much as I love it, I think I'll always incorporate squat, bench, and deadlift in my training, some variation, but it's just, I don't think I would be lifting as heavy. It's when I'm going into competition prep and the weights start to get heavy, my body starts to go, like my hip gets niggly, stuff like that. It's normal. But yeah, I want to, be doing this. I want to be that, what was it, 77-year-old woman that went pro?
Her name is Rebecca Woody. She
Yeah, I
turned
want to be like
pro.
Rebecca Woody. I want to be in my 70s still lifting shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Like I said, and you say you're 41. I wouldn't think you're 41. I think you were 30.
Like,
I mean, I'm going to be 52 in
oh
November.
my goodness.
Yeah, I'm a broke down old man, two
I
bad
did not
knees, and a
think you were like
pacemaker.
in your 50s.
Well, I hadn't had the pleasure of having children, so I don't age as fast. Yes, but, I like I said, I took care of my mom. That was my big responsibility. I have a nephew. He was autistic. We took care of him for about a few years. And that was close to me having a child. I mean, I love him. He's my brother's youngest son. I love
But
him.
you the best part, because then when they're like crying or they need something, you just hand them back. Here you go. Your
Well,
child. Fun
yeah,
time's over.
well, sometimes I still hold on to him, but then until they didn't want to kick it back. But yeah. But man, we're not gonna hold you much too longer because
Mhm.
your story about what you went through, your accident, finding sport, being a mother, powerlifting, bodybuilder. I mean, you are a Jane of all trades. What would you say, especially I'm gonna ask you this question, what would you want for your future as a whole?
I would love to be pro. I'd love to get my IFBB pro card. I'm praying that I do well in May. It's looking good so far. So that is like my short term goal. Um, Obviously, I would want to do as well in powerlifting. I'm hoping to get my 500 dots this year, which would make me elite level powerlifter. So I'm 465 dots at the moment. So I'm not too far from that. But that is like short term goal. Long term, I want to be still training when I'm older, like you were saying about that lady, training with my kids in the gym, teaching them what I know. I mean, that would be the ultimate goal, where I'm in the gym with my kids and I'm training with them, like I'd be living the dream.
Yeah, so everybody has that dream, especially being a
Yeah.
pro, being around for your children when they need you the most, especially coming up, and have those good relationships with them. And also
Yeah.
you educating children, that's really good work. We really appreciate our educators and our teachers to our children. This is my last one. My man says, Maxim, how much she can lift.
Oh, deadlift. I have a triple body weight deadlift. That was the video where I cried and drank the vodka. So I weighed 60 kilos. So I don't know what that is in pounds. Is that
Well,
100?
he'll care about counts. You remember he doesn't do about pounds, so he go with kilos.
So I was 60 kilos and my deadlift was 180 kilos. And bench, like I'm terrible at bench, 81 kilos. And squat, 162.5. So that was all at like 59 kilo body weight.
Okay, non-dose, are you good? Okay, we're good. So, folks, you know what? As a person who's doing this content, it's a pleasure opportunity to have any leader out here to share their story and their paths. We was like this. We're gonna wish you the best of luck this upcoming year, be it
Thank
powerlifting, be it
you.
bodybuilding. Ma'am, I have a quote from my favorite movie Bible Gates. You don't have to thank me. You never have to because this is why I do this. Again, this gives me purpose. When you say thank you, I appreciate it, but you don't have to because you know what? Women like yourself, who's doing what you're doing, being a mother, being a wife, taking care of educating children, and finding time to work out and train in both two very extreme sports. Again, most of us wouldn't do what y'all do. But in some sense, you said again, it's up to the person's mindset if they're really dedicated. People out here who have issue with y'all, this is why I say like, fuck you, because that's on you. If you don't have that same mentality, don't waste your energy on somebody. That's the thing about haters. I like this. For me, haters, people hate my content and my stuff. I say, you know what? Give me your hate, because you know what? It gives me energy. Because you know
It's
what? It's telling me
fuel.
that it's telling me I'm doing something that you don't have the courage to do. To reach out women
100%.
like yourself. Yeah.
It's fuel. Add to my fire. Come on.
Yeah,
Keep bringing it.
come on, give me your hate haters. Like,
Give
I
me
like,
more.
like there's a movie with Kurt Russell. It's called The Vikings. We say, "I'd rather have your hate than your love." But women like you, like ladies have become friendly with ladies I've met who appreciate what I'm doing. You know what? That also gives me energy because they know what I'm doing good work. And also, as I said again, I am a sponsor for the jacket for the winners at the Triple O Dynasty that's being sponsored by Bad Rap. Shout out to my man David and also Eunice. They're sponsoring the show. Shout out to my girlfriend Andrea Shaw. Her city giving up on that show. Um, Check it out. It's gonna be. I might do a little something that weekend. So, ma'am, I'm not holding you too long. Do you have anybody you want to shout out while you're here?
Okay, hi to my sisters. Hi to my partner, Carlos, and to my kids, of course. So my whole family. Hi.
Yeah. Oh, and this is from my man Dose. He says this. He says, "Got put on here raising." He says, "Thank you." So,
Oh, you're
we
welcome.
appreciate it.
He must have
Well,
understood the kilos.
yeah, that's what you don't need to tell me pounds, so you
Yeah.
just the kilos. So, folks, I'm not going to hold it much longer. We do appreciate the time she gave us here. If you want to follow Tara, her link's description of this live, you can check her out. If you're someone interested in sponsoring her, maybe get her to come into the States, cover her costs, like her travel fees. You have your passport, right?
Have what?
A passport.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're good. Good. Yeah, because right now we have right now we're in our country we're going through a mess because oh my God.
If you want me to go to America, send me a DM.
Yeah,
Sponsor the
cover
flight.
hey, cover her flight, cover her motel. Hey, give her some little per diem to help her out. Well, I mean, she might want to bring the kids too. Be genuine interest, but don't be that guy. Say, Tara, I saw you. Yeah, you ain't be my lucky charm. No, you sick freak. I know what you're thinking about because I'm one of you.
Any
I know you.
friendly DMs I'm open for.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
open
what
for.
you should say. Mrs. Mooney, we're interested in you, your story, your life, being from a country of Ireland. You have just an interesting background. So if you feel like being a powerlifter, bodybuilder, something that's passionate about you, we're passionate about you too. So let us know as a company, is there something we can do for you? Sponsor you, help you out. If this our product is something that you use in your process and you like to be part of our company as a sponsored athlete, let us know. We have a future for you, my dear lady.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I wish it was, I said, sign the contract, baby. But I'm broke. I'm broke as a joke. Right now, at the end of the month for me, I'm buying my last $10. So, folks, um, I want to shout out to my man Naldos, my man Jeff, also anyone who watches live stream, who support these ladies and men of sport of bodybuilding. Reach out and show your interest and support. So, ma'am, I want to say thank you. And
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm sorry, he can't help himself, he says. And yes, I want to say you too again. Thank you, Tara. And again, I want to say you are beautiful. I'm sorry about that. So, ma'am, I wish you best of luck on both your shows. And like I said, if you want to come back and shoot the shit, you're welcome guest.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Hey, folks, this is me on my Waitress page, aka the Emperor of Film Body Talk. Like, don't like, subscribe. Good night, good luck, God bless, and see you next time. And happy rest of your weekend.